Welcome to Sunrise Extra on a Wednesday. We have made it halfway through the week. And one of our biggest, most commented stories, besides the snow that may be happening tomorrow, we're going to talk about that tomorrow, you guys. Let's just tamp it down. Hold on. Is all of the openings that are going to be happening on Friday in 10 more Oregon counties. Yesterday, Governor Kate Brown announced she is loosening restrictions, and the Tri-County metro areas as well as 7 other Oregon counties are going from extreme risk down to high risk, and that does open up indoor dining at 25% capacity. Bigger places can have a max of 50 people inside to eat. It loosens restrictions on gyms. More people can be inside. Movie theaters. It opens up pools and hot tubs at hotels and all that kind of stuff. So we want to know, you the viewer, are you guys going to go out to eat indoors now? A lot of restaurants telling us that they are just going to stick to outdoor dining only and takeout because they're afraid that there's going to be another kind of rolling shutdown happening, and it costs a lot to close back up. But others, of course, like we just showed the River Pig, they're in Portland's Pearl District. They also have a location in Bend. They are absolutely opening up to indoor dining.
You've been super excited about this. You are my foodie connection.
Yes.
Anytime I want to know a good restaurant, I ask Nina, what do you love? Because I feel like you've been everywhere. Where are you going to head first?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just very excited at the possibility of something new to do, and not freeze your patootie off in a tent.
we need to hear from Joshua Madrid, I think, at some point here on Sunrise Extra this morning, because I am curious if you're a restaurant.
Our bartender,
yeah. He's in the service industry, right? The hospitality industry, if you will. Anyways, if you're a restaurant and you've been doing the outdoor dining only option for the last couple of months, because I kind of forget, we were eating inside restaurants up until the week of the week of Thanksgiving. Anyways, if you're doing the outdoor deal right now, why would it cost you to open up the restaurant for this limited capacity inside, even if there's this fear of it shutting down again? You've got the answer? Because
they have to order more food. There's going to be more tables, so they have to order more food. They have to hire back, servers and potentially another cook, another busboy or whatever.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
They already have people in place to serve the people eating outside. They already have food for the people eating outside.
But now there's more tables.
But there would only be a few more tables. I mean, you can't have a lot of people inside. So what? The average restaurant may be able to have 5 extra tables open.
She's not making that up.
I know. I believe her.
They've said that.
I believe her, and I believe them. I just didn't realize it was going to be that much more costly to open up to 25% capacity.
If it gets shut down again, you got to lay people off again. You got food that now is potentially
unusable. Yeah, exactly.
I guess I'm just used to KGW, where we don't hire more people to do more work. We just ask the people here to do extra work.
So Drew, we spent New Year's Eve, as we always do, up on the North Coast. There's a restaurant in Astoria on the old, it's in the old cannery building. I can't think of the name of the restaurant, but we go there every year. And at that time, Clatsop County was opening, I think that Saturday after New Year's, my memory's correct, and you could dine in. But the restaurant we love to go to said, no, we're not going to do it. And my wife talked to the owner on the phone, and what he said made sense, I mean, it's more than just even buying the food. He's got employees that are now getting unemployment benefits. If he brings them back, then they lose their unemployment benefit. And what if it's only for 2 weeks? Right. And then they got to go back to that. And really, there's a long list of things that he detailed. We were just like, it's not worth it, especially if you think that the plug could be pulled again in just a week or two, literally, which seems like it did happen back in the fall.
It sounds super easy when you talk about it, but it's always way more complicated. So Connie Staub-Miller says, nope. I'm not changing anything. I have autoimmune disease, and my husband just had knee replacement last week. Ordering groceries and pickup and cooking at home.
Gotcha. Well, I've seen a lot of restaurants and chefs that I follow yesterday posting, they also don't, money aside, they also don't want to put their staff, at risk of now you're inside, and when you do, customers do sit down at a table, you can take your mask off. So now you have a room full of unmasked people eating and talking and all that kind of stuff.
So do we know, Nina, does this mean forgive me for not knowing, will all Oregon counties be moved up into this
These are
phase?
10 new ones.
But does that leave any county that's behind, so to speak?
Oh yeah, there's several.
So there's still,
still
Oregon
several.
counties that are in extreme,
Okay.
you know, the extreme category, and they cannot have indoor dining.
Does that include
still.
I'm sorry, I'm so lost.
Let me look it up. Yeah,
Multnomah
that's
County
a great
is
question.
Multnomah County, Rod, is one of the counties moving up, so to speak, this Friday.
Okay, I guess it's hard for me to imagine that we would be doing better than
Right.
somebody
You
else.
can't- I thought the
Right.
same thing. What
Yeah.
counties are, you know, so to speak,
Yeah.
behind Multnomah County when it comes
Okay.
to risk level, but they are out there.
Okay, all right.
Angel says, sadly, for many businesses, it's far too late. And then somebody, Tracy, good morning to you, gives a shout out to Huber's, calling it awesomeness. Those Spanish coffees are awesome.
Poor Tina's sick of her own cooking. Tina Carlson. She's absolutely sick of her own cooking.
Really?
She wants to go out to eat.
Yes,
It
amen.
would be nice.
Howard Wright is
It would
asking
be
for the
nice.
other. Are you looking up the other counties?
I do, yes. I have the list.
Thank you, Nina.
And it's right, it's like one of our top stories besides the SNOW on KGW.com. So
Yeah.
there's 14 counties that are still in the extreme category and they cannot have indoor dining. And it's interesting, you guys, like Yamhill County, you think wine country, Benton County, Corvallis area has to close. Coos County, Jefferson County over in Central Oregon, Lane County is Eugene, Marion County is Salem.
Oh, interesting.
So at Union, Umatilla, Wasco, all of those smaller places are still extreme risk.
So like Deschutes County in Central Oregon is going to open, but Jefferson
Yes.
County, which is Redmond and Madras, will not open.
Right.
Redmond is Deschutes County still, so they can open. But yeah,
Are you sure?
Here's
I'd
the
almost
map.
bet my horse that Redmond is
yeah, I'm pretty
Jefferson
positive
County.
because I lived over there.
I would
for
bet
so
both
long.
my horses. And I haven't lived-
You've only got
We
two.
need a Redmond representative to clean up this debate.
Redmond is Deschutes County.
Okay.
100%.
So Jennifer Taft, one of our regulars, says, variance, variance, variance. We are doing the opposite of the goal of opening schools. We need to pick a priority and stick to it.
Not that I didn't believe Nina, but Rod, I looked it up again, and she is absolutely 100%
Wow.
right. Redmond is Deschutes County.
Do you realize I have been wrong about that the entire time I've lived here? I don't know how many times I've said that
22 years?
incorrectly on the air. Madras is Jefferson County.
Yes.
I love you folks in Madras.
Carillon, Madras, Warm Springs, all that stuff. So yeah.
Says, I'm conflicted. On the one hand, we need to open up businesses. On the other hand, when you know people getting the virus, it's pretty scary. What can we do? Yeah, that is conflicted.
Cherie says the comment regarding visiting in long-term care facilities is not accurate. She says that restriction will remain in place, but I know in our coverage we have mentioned that long-term care
Indoor
facilities
visits?
will be allowed to have indoor visitors starting this Friday if they're in one of these counties that is moving into high risk from extreme risk.
Maybe it's a matter of how
And it may be place
restricted
to place, you know,
that
has
is or
different
something.
rules of some facilities.
Tell us more.
don't.
What else do you know?
Tell us more.
Tell us more.
Do we know when Governor Inslee is expected to announce anything? Is that coming later this week?
I have not heard about that. I
have
don't
not
know.
heard either.
You can tell when Rod's having a busy weather day because he's full of questions regarding all the other news stories. He's
Like, keep talking about this.
yes,
I'm sorry.
very focused on one thing that man is here
Sorry.
today. We'll talk about that winter storm, of course, tomorrow. I am curious, and Nina, we're going to turn to you again for another question.
Okay, I'm on the website. What do you got?
Have you heard from some of your restaurant contacts? I'm wondering if any of these restaurants have talked about a successful time during this outdoor-only dining, or do they all say, you know, we're getting by on this, but
Breaking even.
it's not making it happen?
I think it's a lot of that, like just, you know, breaking even or like just a teeny percentage of, I guess, what you could call profit. But I mean, you factor in like the costs of renting one of these big tents,
Right.
you know, with the big metal poles, and then, you know, a lot of heaters, like the cost to buy the heater alone, and then you think, okay, my barbecue at home's got a regular propane tank. If that is running constantly, it's going to be on for maybe 2-3 hours. How much does it cost to fill a propane tank? $25?
Yeah.
Ish?
Yeah.
So you're running through $25 for one tank for like 2 hours. And you know, a lot of these places have 5-6 heaters. So I mean, the cost is crazy high
Yeah.
for these outdoor options. But I mean, I think it's keeping some places afloat. It pays the rent because you still have business taxes to pay and, you know,
Yeah.
salaries. And
I think we're still going to do takeout, but I don't think anybody at my house wants to go sit inside. I've been watching a lot of HGTV lately, all the home
Decorating.
renovation stuff because we moved into a new place in the fall. And all I can say is, you know, these were shot a long time ago. I'm like,
Isn't it weird when you
Look,
see people like
people are just sitting in restaurants and there are no masks, and it makes me happy looking at those old shows.
Right.
But we're not ready to do it yet in our house.
Brenda, you just decorated your home based on 1987 trends.
I didn't say I decorated that way. I'm just like, getting some ideas.
I love watching that stuff. Yeah, it is weird when you like see, movies or shows or something, and you're like, oh, that's so weird. They're just like, how did they film this? When did they film this? All kinds of stuff.
Hey, by the way, our producer Celeste just said that we're hearing that the governor himself, Mr. Inslee, of Washington State, will update their situation at 1 o'clock today in a press conference. And then I like Jennifer Taft's comment. She says, variance, variance, variance. We are doing the opposite of the goal of opening schools. We need to pick a priority and stick to it. And I think she's saying, let's get one thing going. In this case, it's schools before we just start possibly increasing the risk by opening up other things at the same time. Interesting thought, yeah.
And a lot of people were commenting, boy, when we posted this kind of breaking news thing yesterday when it came down, we've got nearly 100 comments just on that Instagram post alone, which is really high. And a lot of people were saying, I'm not going to open my restaurant or my coffee shop, or I'm not going to go, or I'm a server until essential workers are prioritized for the vaccine.
Amy Lynn Peck says, why isn't opening based on the percentage of vaccines given? Then we have something to actually strive for that we can understand.
Honestly, I would argue that makes more specific scientific sense than some of the other things we're deciding things on. I like that comment.
This is going to be interesting because it's Valentine's Day weekend, normally a huge restaurant time, for reservations. So people already have maybe reservations for outdoor tables because this was just announced, midday yesterday. And so I think it's a real quandary for restaurants of like, could we make some extra money if we, opened up to indoor dining? We could add more Valentine's Day tables. Then you do have the snow situation, on the horizon of like, will those reservations get canceled because people don't want to drive or walk or whatever to that spot? And then what I was also thinking is the tents and the weight of snow.
Oh boy.
If you're not there, like shoving a
it's a good
broom
point.
handle up to kind of go off.
We're
they
talking
could
a
collapse.
storm
Because
potentially on
Saturday has the potential to be our first 8, 9, 10, 12-inch snowstorm since January of 17, and that type of weight you would think would pummel some of those tents.
It is unbelievable, right? I mean, going back now almost a year, it's unbelievable how this news cycle has been for us, where it is one on top of the other.
We're just like used to it now, right?
Well, it's only fitting that, hey, this weekend, restaurants in these counties can open back up for indoor dining, and there's going to be a major snowstorm on top of it.
Yeah.
It's like, you just can't get one thing at a time around here.
Yeah.
If you're a conspiracy theorist, you believe the government is producing the snow to keep people away from restaurants.
Run! God, don't go there.
Verify team! Verify team, we need to look into something.
Zip! Zip!
Come on, let's have some fun.
Checking on my YouTube.
Sunrise Extra is no place
Stanford
for
Walker
fun.
says the Walker kids, they want snow in all caps. I know everybody at my house wants snow too.
Bring it
I'm
on.
not sure if Stanford will actually answer a question coming directly from me, but I am curious, Stanford, how many Walker kids are there? Just curious. I've been wondering.
Oh yeah, it's a good question. We don't know.
Thanks. It is a good question, but will it be answered by the subject? Mr. Stanford.
We'll find out.
Stanford, you can tell me. And
You and I. Just tell us.
yes,
It's okay.
just tell me. Just you and me. Let's see, Mark Brooks, good morning to you. It's weird how you can eat indoors in Lincoln City, then come to Portland and nope. Friends, think it's weird and it's normal. We are working at the beach. Oh, you're working at the beach. There's an extra word in there. It threw me. Sorry.
That's all it takes sometimes.
I know.
Hey, I'm wondering, do any of you have a restaurant that is a favorite that is sadly gone forever now, likely because they had to close because of the pandemic?
Pock.
I was thinking the same
It
thing.
was like one of my very favorites.
Just
Couldn't
delicious.
get anywhere else.
And for us, the Grant House, which is on Officers Row up in Vancouver, new owners took that over several years ago. The food was fantastic. Loved it. And it's sadly gone forever.
Yeah.
We'll miss them.
Jeff Lucas says, I refuse to sit outdoors, so at least now I will consider going out to eat. Jeff, why did you refuse to sit outdoors? Just
Come on,
uncomfortable?
Jeff.
Too cold?
It's cold, man.
Huh.
Come on, Jeff.
Yeah. They gotta have heaters, man. That's my kind of. I mean, I've got all the puffy coats in the world, but it is pretty.
We
nice
did
to
go
have
out,
heaters.
you know, in Clark County. I don't know if Multnomah was the same, but in Clark County, some weeks back, if you have enough windows that you can open up, it's kind of like a tent, and those restaurants were allowed to open, but the windows have to be open.
Oh, like a roll-up door.
Yeah, so we did that, and I sat in there, and it was cold.
Yeah.
It was very, very, I couldn't get to all my fries before they got.
Right? Yeah, things come out piping hot, and then you just gotta like. My husband's a firefighter, you know, and in the fire station, boy, those dudes eat fast because you never know when the bell's
sure.
gonna go off.
Absolutely.
And when they sit down to dinner, they just like shovel it in. It's kind of gross. And so he said, you know, this is when his like fast eating can really come in handy. Is when the stuff arrives hot.
If we get bad snow Saturday, Nina, will you use your hubby's fire truck to go to the grocery store?
No.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Can you see her driving the big rig? I would pay. I
I like driving his big truck.
Like
sometimes.
Kramer on that Seinfeld. Yeah, he's got the leg up in the air.
Oh my God. By the way, Drew, Stanford Walker would
I was
like
going to
me
read
to
a
tell
comment
you.
just to get under his skin, if you don't mind.
2 Walker kids and 2, they're both 13 years old.
So you have twins too,
13-year-olds.
Stanford. We have something in common. I'm sure we won't talk about it, but we do
trying
have
to
something in
bond
common.
with
And I have
you,
13-year-olds. I just thought about that. I have 13-year-old twins too.
Jamie Pollard says, what science is used to determine who is out of the extreme risk? Brenda and Drew, they use a formula basically of the total number of cases and hospitalizations, and if it's declining, right? They have number of metrics that they follow.
Yep, there's a certain, they combine kind of the case positivity rate for, you know, the population in that certain county and the hospitalization and hospital capacity and all that kind of stuff. And I think it has to be below 5% at least.
And in the past, those numbers have unfortunately swung back up, and then they've had to take back.
And that may be very well what happened. That's what a lot of people are thinking, you know, like everyone's going to go, wow, and go out, you know, and open more places.
Jeff says it's too cold, wet, and miserable. I may not get COVID, but I'll probably catch a cold.
Saw that.
That's why he won't sit outside.
And a couple of people, Rod, are chiming in on your question about what places have we lost since the pandemic began that we really miss. Angela Barks Draz. Angela, we know that you're here like just about every single day on Extra, so thank you for that, for starters. And she mentions the Grand House as well, Rod. She says that's part of her history. Willie Huey, a friend of the show, a friend you should know. He says Tasty and Alder, although he thinks it's not just a COVID thing that drove Tasty and Alder out, but that was definitely a place that he enjoyed.
Yes, that is a very complicated story of what happened to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he says, hey,
owner
despite the story, still upset to see it go because he loved the food.
But you know what? His business partner and the chef have you guys ever been to Mediterranean Exploration Company? It's in the Pearl District on 13th. It's that same group of Tasty and Alder and Toro Bravo and all that. It's fantastic. Anyway, that guy who's the chef there is now taken over what's kind of left of that company, and they're opening a Tasty and Alder, but it's just called Tasty in Lake Oswego. In that new shopping center called Mercantile Grove or something that'll be opening, I think, in the spring.
So what's the name of the place? What's the name of the place in the Pearl, though?
It's called Mediterranean Exploration Company.
How do they fit that on the sign?
How did they
MEC,
put out a
man.
T-shirt with it on it?
It's kind of like hummuses and lamb, you know, like lamb shanks and kind of like Lebanese, Middle Eastern. It's super good, though.
I do believe the plural of hummuses is hummi.
Good one.
Ooh, Noah Clark, he's given a shout out to Montage and Sadet's Gone. The best mac and
Montage.
cheese
Oh my gosh.
at
when I
1
worked at
a.m. ever.
Channel
And the
12.
tinfoil animals.
Oh yeah, well I worked at Channel 12 years ago. The old Channel 12 building was over by OMSI, so that was close to Montage.
Yep.
We did that at least once a week. I was young back then.
Yep.
About once a week we went there after work.
Because how long do they stay open? Like 4 a.m.?
Oh, yeah.
Like super.
Yeah, really. And it was, we'd get there, you know, after the 11 o'clock news, and I mean, it was pretty busy.
Yep.
Those were the days.
I remember going there with Adam Bjornson, former KW guy who's now Channel 6.
Yeah,
going there like
Adam's
late
great.
night.
Yeah.
We took our boys there probably about 2 years ago. We had the frog legs. But yeah, I will miss that
You
too.
made them eat frog legs?
I didn't make them. They were kind
They
of.
wanted it?
Well, something in the middle. I mentioned that it's on the menu. They said, I'll try that.
What'd they think?
It's like chicken.
Did they eat one and that was it? Or
yes.
did they eat all of them?
They ate about half of the one that was on their plate and then just said they didn't want any more. Daddy got them all.
Poor frog.
All right. Okay.
Rodney.
Yes, dear.
Have I missed this all morning? You know, sometimes I feel it's so ironic that the monitors, some of the monitors in these studios are like, I have to go like this to see what it is.
Yeah.
Somebody's mentioning that you've got great scruff. Are you growing your beard?
Oh, great. Oh, really? Did they say great?
Yeah, they did. Scruff.
Let's get him.
I don't want no scruff.
I'm calling this my.
Boy.
Whoa.
Oh my God, you made me drop my phone.
So my wife, Grayson, who likes scruff, by the way, she says you should keep it as a snow beard until it snows. So now the bad news is, if it wouldn't snow at all this week, it's possible I could have this beard this summer. But if it snows, the day it snows, I will shave it off.
Oh.
I was Grayson. I think you look good with a little scruff.
Did you say good, Brenda Braxton?
Hey,
Great.
let's make this, we got to get out of here. So let's make this the transition to tomorrow's show when we will be talking snow. And Rod, if your forecast holds up, you could be shaving that scruff before Friday's show because tomorrow is supposed to be a pretty big snow day.
Yeah, well, tomorrow, back up.
Okay.
So tomorrow's one of those mixed bag days. I think there will be some areas, especially tomorrow's east wind driven, come out of the gorge. I think there will be some spots tomorrow that get several inches of snow, maybe up to 4 inches by Friday morning. But other spots like Salem could just be rainy tomorrow. So it's a checkerboard tomorrow, but we're telling people to keep an eye on the weather in the afternoon. That's when the storm watch begins, and certainly pockets of our area could drop down to freezing during the afternoon and get icy. But Saturday could be big old wide snowstorm for everybody. So Sunday morning you're walking out of your house and you're like walking through the snow trying to get to where you're going.
Tomorrow we'll talk all about the weather. If you're wondering what the heck are you going to talk about with the weather, what can we possibly say?
Yeah,
there will be plenty. Tune in
Yeah.
to find out. Tomorrow, Sunrise Extra. We'll see you then.